Ready?
Ready?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of Snitchin'. It's your host, Kristen.
And Brittany, get ready for the best part of your day.
Brand new week. Happy birthday to my sister Melissa. It's her birthday today.
Oh,
So
I
shout
knew it was
out.
someone's. I was like 818. I know this is someone's birthday, but I couldn't remember who.
How was your weekend, Britt?
It was good. My kids were a little tough this weekend. Well, actually, Saturday we went to the North End and did this like Taste of Italy tour for my
Mm.
mother-in-law's birthday. Yeah, so me, Chris, and then my brother and sister-in-law, and we brought Tyler. We sent Connor to Situate because I was like, oh, Connor, like just in a bunch of restaurants, that seems like a nightmare.
Mm.
We were very wrong, and Tyler was an absolute nightmare. It was like he was just so bad, it was funny. Um, like you couldn't, there was nothing we could do. We were just like, I mean, it's just one of those days. He's two.
I could see why you would think that Tyler would thrive because Tyler's favorite thing to do in the world is to eat.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, oh, he'll just love all the eating. And like, if he's, acting up, I can just take him on a little walk. But yeah, that didn't. It was like he didn't want to go in the stroller. He didn't want to be held. He didn't want to sit in your lap. He didn't want to walk, blah, blah, blah. It was a nightmare with him. So we left a little bit early, but the tour was actually awesome. And I feel like you would really like it.
Ooh, tell me more.
Yeah, I was like, Kristen would love this. So yeah, it was by, I think there's like a bunch of different like similar tours in the North End, but it was just like this one girl who I think she'd like grown up there. And she took us so it was $90. And we went to like, first we went to the oldest liquor store in the North End and we had like limoncello shots. And then we went to a place where they had like we learned about olive oil and then we had some like meat and cheese and they gave everyone like a little deli sandwich. So we had a sandwich and then we went to a pizza place, had a little pizza, and then we went to a restaurant, had a little pasta. That was when we left. We had to make the quick exit.
Mm-hmm.
But then they went to like a gelato and like coffee place. But the whole time, like the girl was telling us like all these cool facts and stuff about Little Italy, like in the North End. And so I missed, I will say, probably 75% of the discussion, the tour.
Sure.
But the few things that I got, I feel like we're good. I want to go back. So what did they say? She said that, oh, the thing I found most interesting, I'm wondering if you know this.
Okay. And
So,
we should say, you already said it, but just for like the couple of non-Bostonian listeners we have, the North End
oh
is like
yeah.
our little Italy.
Yeah. Oh, which actually that reminds me of one. I didn't realize the Boston North End is the biggest Little Italy in the country, bigger than New York.
Wow.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Boston, way to go. Number one.
I know, I never knew that.
That is a fun
But
fact.
yeah, no, I'm interested to know if you know this one because your family is like straight off the boat from Italy. So she said that, like, I guess so. First of all, Italy became a country after America. So technically, Italy as a country is younger than America. It became a country in like 1860 or something like that, like middle of the 1800s.
That's
Because
crazy.
before, yeah, well, so before it was like all a bunch of different little like state kind of provinces. Like there was like Florence and I think there was like Rome and then whatever. I don't know. But they were all little parts. And then there was like one, I guess at that time, like I think after the American Revolution and like all over Europe, there was a lot of this going on. And like they were starting to try to like unify the Italy states to make a country because they were like, we're stronger together, blah, blah, blah. But when they did that, I guess the northern Italy people saw the southern Italy people as like peasants and like killed them. I guess that's what you did back then when people
Okay.
were poor. I don't know. But they were all like really persecuted. And so all the people that basically came, all the American Italians today, 99% of them are from South Italy.
That's just so interesting because yeah, my dad is the only one of his siblings who's born in America, born like in the North End. But the rest of his family all immigrated here, and yeah, they're from Sicily. So I mean,
Right.
like as south as you can get. That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Same with me. My little Italian, it's from Sicily. Yeah. And there was like other people were there. They're like, oh, yeah, mine's from like southern Italy too. I was like, wow, I never knew that.
Naples or something. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm really gonna like that fact. I have to remember that, or I can just listen to this since this is recorded. And tell Bobby. Bet he'll love that.
I know. I know. Well, yeah, you guys should do it. Let me hold on. I gotta plug this girl because she was really good, her tour. To our handful of listeners here, what was it called? Off the Eaten Path.
Okay, off the
That's
eaten
the name of the
path.
tour.
That's a great idea. I bet they would love that. I think because of like the Romans, you think of the Romans as, the first real civilization that I would never have believed Italy was an actual country after America.
I know. I
That's
know. It's crazy. But
that
just
is crazy.
technically.
Technically, yeah, but still.
Yeah. But I was thinking, like, that's probably why I remember, like, in Vienna, we were, like, surprised by all the Italians there
Yeah.
and all, like, the Italy stuff. That's because it's near southern Italy.
You had
Yeah.
a very educational Saturday.
Yeah. Well, and you wouldn't, I only heard, like, 25% of it. So there were probably a lot more fun facts to learn about. So I would highly recommend, but don't bring kids, especially a 2-year-old.
Yeah. Did Julie like it?
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. I
So
could
it was
the
good.
photo was cute of her, Chris, and Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Someone posted that. I didn't even know. But yeah, that was a cute picture.
Yeah.
Instagram versus reality.
Wait, no, that's so
Legit.
true.
Tyler's like smiling perfectly. Like he was not, that was like, we caught him in the right moment. He was really like thrashing to get out of Chris's arms.
That is so awesome. Yeah, because I had the thought, I was like, oh, what a cute photo. Tyler looks so great. They must be having the best time. And I mean, sounds like you did, but that's hilarious. Instagram versus reality. Baby's gonna baby. Well, speaking of babies, I saw some friends that I worked with Friday night. I hadn't seen them in maybe like a year. We went out to dinner and they are pregnant, due in December, which is very exciting. And they met actually at the company we all worked at. But I've said forever that he would be like the best girl dad. He's just such like
Oh,
yeah,
it's
he's
a
such,
girl.
it's a girl.
Oh.
I couldn't handle it. I was so excited, flipped out. Literally, they were like, "Wow, we could have seen your reaction to like everything." Because I couldn't handle it. But they told the name. I love the name. I
Oh, what is it?
Evelyn.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but it brought up the question that we've talked about, and I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about here. If like just how do you feel about sharing baby names? I feel like it's a very polarizing subject. People feel strongly one way or the other. I know you didn't share the names.
Yeah, I feel strongly don't tell the name because I don't know. I feel like it's weird to call it a name before it's born. And
Oh,
like number one, like I don't know, I just feel like that's weird. And then number two, I like it to be like a surprise.
yeah.
Like when I'm like, when it's like my, sister-in-law or whoever who's pregnant, like it's kind of nice to have like you find out the sex like in the beginning of the pregnancy and then like once they have the baby, it's like you know the sex and like a lot of time, you know what when it's coming basically. So it's nice to have like a little surprise.
Yeah, I feel that. It's so crazy to me, and I've seen this happen like with my own two eyes, where even my sister, when she was talking about her kids' names, so my sister has two girls and then twin boys, and the boys are named after my father and then her husband's father. So it was very easy to
Hmm.
decide that and tell everyone. But for the girls' names, she would tell people, and just the reactions that she would get, the fact that people feel emboldened enough to criticize a name.
That is so weird. I would never do that. If someone told me a name I didn't like, I'd be like, "Oh, interesting." Like, I bet there aren't many of those.
Keep it to yourself.
I would never be like, "That's a bad name."
Or, yeah. Or like, yes. Or like, oh, really? Or just like a non enthusiastic response. It's like, okay, it's not a hypothetical that this could be the name. This is the name. Get
Yeah.
on board.
People think they can literally say whatever they want to pregnant women. It's mind-blowing.
What else?
Like they
Oh,
want to touch your stomach. They're like, "Oh,
oh,
you're getting big." It's like, "Well, you're getting big. Let me see your stomach."
go
Like that's
F
weird.
off. Oh my God. No. Our friend told me recently that she, like, after she had her baby, she's still losing the baby weight, whatever, that people, she works in like a hospital setting that men, she said, always men and older men would always like ask her, like, oh, having another baby or like having a baby, not another baby. They didn't know she had the baby. So scratch that. But men, like specifically older men would ask her, like, oh, are you pregnant? Like, don't ask a
Oh
woman if
God.
she is pregnant.
Yeah. Just don't do it. Even if they're
PSA,
like 9 months pregnant, don't do it.
just don't comment on,
Yeah.
and don't please, everyone out there, don't just like touch pregnant women's bellies.
Please don't. Please
Please
don't.
and thank you.
And please don't comment on pregnant women's bodies constantly every time you see them.
No one likes that.
But yay for them. That's exciting.
I know. I know. Well, we have a great episode for you, TV heavy episode. And just like that, the finale aired, I think like last week. So we're going to talk a little bit about how our favorite Sex and the City characters wrapped up their character storylines. Victoria Beckham has an upcoming documentary that we're going to talk a little bit about. Very excited about that. Sophie Turner also is going to be starring in a new movie with her Game of Thrones brother, Kit Harington. And we're going to finish with our Summer I Turned Pretty recap. So, a TV heavy episode for you all this week. And kicking off with, and just like that, the finale aired. And I know you said you watched season 1 and 2, right?
Hmm. I haven't watched it yet, but I looked up what happened in the finale.
I like on the flip didn't really watch. I watched season 1, didn't watch season 2, didn't watch any of season 3, but I did watch the finale. It was
Oh, you watched it?
I did just to yeah, just to,
Yeah.
the thing is it's like it's a 30-minute episode show and
Oh, true.
I know.
Game changer.
If it was an hour,
Oh, yeah,
probably
so much harder.
can't
So much
do
harder.
it, can't commit. Yeah. It was and it was easy, because like I still do love those characters. Well, I guess we can start with Carrie. So, like, the part that was pretty interesting, or one of the parts of the episode that I want to talk about is it opens and she's dining by herself in a restaurant. And it's definitely showing the difference between like when they used to dine out versus now, because like a robot passes by with the orders. It's like
Mm,
a self-ordering tablet. She's
mm,
confused. Yeah. But the whole kind of like the whole kind of theme of her storyline in this episode is like her accepting the fact that she might be on her own for the rest of her life. And so opening by her dining by herself, and then the waitress comes over and brings this like stuffed animal tomato and puts it in the seat across from her, and they call it Tommy Tomato, and she's like, "Oh, we're putting this here so that you don't have to eat alone."
what?
Like
That's
that's kind of,
weird.
I know, that's like what starts her thinking about being alone. I As a single woman who has dined by herself, I take
Yeah.
offense to
That's like
this.
that's why they like fucked up this like new series, like stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. Like there's like self-ordering kiosks now, and there wasn't in the 90s when this was made, but like we don't need to like make that whole you don't have to make that a whole thing.
I know.
No, you know?
It was very intentionally placed there. And I was like, okay, we get it. And then the Tommy Tomato thing, I was like, if, first off, that could never, I don't really think that could ever happen in an
No.
actual restaurant. The reviews that that restaurant would receive
Mm, yeah.
by,
No one wants to be called out like that.
no one wants to be called out like that with a big stuffed tomato.
Especially
Like,
post-COVID, everyone's like more solo.
that's a good point. Yeah. It was just like, it was an outrageous scene. And I was like, that is crazy. And if that ever did happen, like that restaurant, I feel like would be shut down within, or just would have bad press within like a
Yeah.
month.
That's a perfect
Um,
example of how they fucked up the show.
well, you want
The
another,
wokeness.
there's another
Yeah.
moment like that.
Oh boy.
It's funny you say that because, so just to put a pin on Carrie, basically like the show ends with her like putting music on in her apartment and she's dancing around after Thanksgiving, and she writes the epilogue, and it says she found out she wasn't alone, she's just on her own. So I think it was supposed to be this like empowering finish. So that's Carrie. But
Mm.
then Steve and Miranda.
Oh
So
wait, no, but sorry. Can we talk about Carrie for a second though? What
yeah.
happened with Aiden? I like the summary I read said that they were kind of on and off, and he like asked her to wait for him. And I remember this from the last season. Like he wanted her to wait 5 years for something he had to do with his kids, and then it sounds like he just like ghosted her. Is that what happened?
Well, so Aiden's not a part of the series finale. He wasn't even like, he was mentioned once when she was talking to Charlotte, because she said, after Big died and the devastation, even in the back of my mind, there was like a part of me that was like, maybe Aiden, but that's the only reference to
Mm,
him. I think that they broke up. I feel like I saw a headline that they like broke it off.
yeah, that's like you can't resurrect like relationships like this for a viewer and then just bail on it again. I'm sorry.
I think Aiden should never have been brought back.
Right. If they weren't gonna like be together, then yeah, no, I agree.
He was, do you remember? Because we only watched the Sex and the City movie, the second movie, like what, once or
Once.
twice. He was brought back in that movie too. And it's just like,
Oh,
Aiden's not, do you remember that? I thought he was there. I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't remember that movie at all.
Well, but like, it's the same kind of idea of like, can we just stop bringing back Aiden as like a last resort whenever we need a
Yeah.
storyline for Carrie. He's not like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's not that much of like a fan favorite or like, yeah, I don't know, someone that everyone's really like hoping comes back, I feel like.
I know. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I know about it.
Interesting. But yeah, so what about Miranda and Steve?
Well, okay, so Miranda and Steve are going through it, but I will say the first scene with Miranda in this episode, it's with her and Steve having dinner, just the two of them. And it like pains me because it just reminds me how much I love them.
They fucked everything up in that show.
Oh my God. Like, yes, they were like, they were just so natural and it felt so like real. But anywho, they're talking because Brady is pregnant with a girlfriend that like hates Miranda. They're at odds, and Miranda and Brady are barely talking. I guess Steve and Brady are barely talking. So they're at dinner talking about this. So that's that scene. Miranda then cuts to the next scene with Miranda is it's Thanksgiving Day and she's hosting, and Brady is bringing this girlfriend and a couple of the girlfriend's friends. And this is where they lost me in the wokeness. Miranda has to run out because her new girlfriend has an emergency and she's gone for a couple of hours, and she comes back. While she's gone, the friends are just like so rude. They are blasting music. They're like dancing. They won't
Oh,
eat any of the
jeez.
food. They're only eating like, you know, vegetarian, vegan, like seaweed
Plant-based.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And they're like, just, oh my God, just being so just rude. And it's gone way too far. And you could tell they were trying to kind of like show the new generation or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
people don't behave this way. Even the rudest
Yeah.
people aren't like blatantly showing up to someone's home and being like, oh, is that the mom? She doesn't seem rude. Just crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely not realistic.
It was the worst. I was just like, oh, you're just painting this stereotype that's so not how people in their 20s behave. It's
I
crazy.
feel like the creator of the show thinks they have like such a handle on like American culture and stuff,
Facts.
but they actually don't.
They do not.
They
No.
don't.
So yeah, so that happened. It ended up being with Miranda. It seems like her and Brady are kind of mending fences, and so it's Steve and Brady, and it ends with um, her new girlfriend showing up to support her at the end of the day. So you kind of are left off thinking like Miranda is in a new relationship that's supportive and loving, and like she'll be fine. And then
Hmm.
Charlotte finishes Charlotte really wasn't in this episode very much, but the big thing for her is that Harry had chemo and he has like his sex drive is basically gone. And so at Thanksgiving, he like gets a sex drive back in the middle of like lunch or something. And they aren't like sitting down and eating, but she's like making the turkey and he's like, honey, like
Ew.
yeah.
Ew.
So they go off and
No.
have sex. But the part that was so cringe, Britt, is that Carrie drops off a pie and Charlotte and Harry's daughter opens the door. I think it's Lily. And she's like, oh, mom and dad can't, trade. Like, she can't give you the stuffing she made to bring to Miranda's because they're doing it in the back. Like,
What the fuck? What?
I was like, what?
Like over my dead body when I can ever say that. I mean, there are no words.
It's
I
so
don't know.
glad that Charlotte and Harry are like banging again and that their children seem okay with it. I don't know.
Again, they just don't understand. They're
They
trying to
just
understand. They think they understand, but they don't.
they don't. They're missing the mark. So yeah,
God.
that's how our storyline ended up. I still love the clothes, great clothes. And last thing I noted that you would appreciate is that Carrie has a cat now.
Oh, I love that. Oh yeah, I think she got a cat in the last season. I
So
think she got a cat in the last season. I forgot about that. Oh, well, I probably won't watch the third season.
I think that's fair.
I would say they fucked it up. They should have just ended it after the first movie.
Yeah, they should have ended it then. Agreed. But anyway, our next topic, well, I guess let's skip to the Sophie Turner one. So, quick update. Sophie Turner, she played Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. She's going to star in a new movie opposite her Game of Thrones brother, Kit Harington, aka Jon Snow, as her love interest. The pair are set to star to play lovers in the upcoming gothic horror, The Dreadful. It follows outsider Anne, who is played by Sophie Turner, as her life is turned upside down after the arrival of a mysterious man from her past. Sophie Turner went on Late Night with Seth Meyers, and she said, I got the script for this amazing gothic horror, and I was reading through all the characters, and she's also a producer. So the director asked her, who do you think would be good for the role? And she said, I immediately thought of Kit. She sent him the script and everything. And then she said, he sent me a message back and was like, I'd love to, but this is going to be really fucking weird, Sophie. And she realized that, like, as she was reading the script, she's like, oh, yeah, it will be weird because it's like kiss, sex, and that's my brother.
Yeah.
Um,
How'd she not notice that?
I know. And she said that when they were filming it, like the first kissing scene, she said it was like truly vile that they were both like retching after the fact, which.
Ew.
Yeah. But I am excited to see both of them on the big screen because I mean, I love Kit Harington. Jon Snow.
Yeah,
He,
he's cute.
he was my favorite Game of Thrones character.
I feel like he was everyone's.
Yeah, I was gonna say who were some of your favorites?
Oh God, I put that show out of my mind, my
I
memory.
know. I know.
R.I.P. I'll never watch you again, Game of Thrones. I think that this is weird though. I feel like, well, at first I was like, is whoever's making this movie trying to get buzz? Like, people like us are talking about it now because they're both in this movie, but like we never would have talked about this gothic horror film otherwise. So maybe I thought it was like for publicity, but it sounds like it's not even for publicity.
I think it's probably, I mean, it's a smart move for publicity because yeah, that's like the only
Right.
reason I would go to see a gothic horror is to
Yeah.
see these two. Um, but no, I think that she just, yeah, I mean, it seems like she just thought he'd be good for it, but
I feel like that's cringy. I mean, yeah, especially because like if they feel awkward, I feel like that will come through.
yeah, I know. Well, I really want to see the kissing scenes just to see what that's like.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will say, like, even though Game of Thrones had such a fall from grace, I was just talking about this with my cousin Megan yesterday. We went and played tennis, and we were saying how like there's not really a song of what we were talking about, how there's not really like a song in summer. And so
Mhm.
they're talking about how there's like it's kind of sad because not everyone's listening to the same thing. We don't have one talking point that everyone can kind of relate to. And we were saying for TV, like that is something that I definitely feel like is so different from when we were younger, where you had to like, if we were watching Lost, we had to be watching Lost at 9 p.m. on Thursday night. And
Mm.
if you missed it, you missed it. And it was like just the
Mhm.
beginning of TiVo and like recording. And I was saying, I feel like the last time that we kind of had that moment where everyone was watching something on the same day, same time was Game of Thrones.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's true. Everyone did for like 8 years or whatever.
And even if you missed it, like, and you recorded it, like, it was almost as if on Monday you missed it, you missed out. Like, too bad for you. We're going to talk about Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
No, I know. Everyone at work. I remember it was like everyone at work would talk about it.
1000%.
And if you didn't watch it, you had to be like, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, right. And it was like, sorry, man, that's on you. Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all right, I don't know. Game of Thrones, just the ending kills me.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
It's so,
it
so
was so
bad.
much work watching that show.
I know. Yeah, that's a good point. It was work.
That's what it was. It was like so much work. You had to remember all these characters and these weird names and blah, blah, blah. And then they just fucked us all over in the end.
It's so true. So anyway, but that's what's going on over there.
When's it coming out?
They didn't say. I don't know.
Oh, so probably like next year or something.
Yeah, probably. But what is coming out in September, and this is just like a quick update, and then we'll get into our Summer I Turned Pretty recap. But it came out that Victoria Beckham is shooting she has a new documentary that's coming out on Netflix next month. And it's going to focus on her transition from Posh Spice to a fashion and beauty mogul. And the part that I think I'm really curious about is it said it's going to talk a lot about like the source of her body image and food issues. And she's, I guess, going to really talk and hit on that, which I think it'll be interesting. And it's supposed to feature all of her family members, but I don't think that Brooklyn, her oldest son, is going to be making an appearance because they are very publicly feuding with him and his new wife. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, Brooklyn and his wife, Nicola Peltz, I believe is her name, had a falling out with David and Victoria. I think they said it kind of started at their wedding a few years ago. And
Interesting.
the rumor I saw is that, well, she's also from like a billionaire family. I mean, she like has her own
They
her
got married like young, weren't they only like 20 or something?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how old they were, but I might misremember a little bit of this story, but I think what happened was at the reception, there was a famous singer who was set to perform at the reception, and they got on the mic and said something along the lines of like, shout out, this song is dedicated to the most beautiful woman in the room, and it was Victoria.
Oh, weird.
So rumor has it that Nicola like ran out crying, and there's been some tension ever since. And I'm sure that that's just an example of like, I don't know, something that's deeper within the surface. And that's just something that like maybe brought it out publicly. But yeah,
So
no,
wait,
there
the wife ran out of the wedding because they made a song about his mom?
like there was a singer that was performing. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. We'll just Victoria Beckham wedding. So basically, a source tells people, so this is people.com, Brooklyn and his wife, Nicola Peltz, were hurt after Brooklyn's mother allegedly hijacked a dance at the wedding. So, okay. Mark Anthony. So, is Mark Anthony, who's a friend of the Beckhams, offered to perform as a gift at the wedding. Before the song began, Mark Anthony asked Brooklyn to come to the stage and then announced, the most beautiful woman in the room tonight, come on up, Victoria Beckham. And the source claims that Nicola felt that Victoria ruined her wedding and couldn't understand why. And it was a jaw dropping moment that left the whole room in shock, and you could hear a pin drop. I guess like Victoria and Brooklyn started dancing, and Nicola ran from the room crying. And she felt like
What a little
Victoria did that
brat.
on purpose. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's no way that could be the source of the feud. It has to be something else.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
must
I
be.
mean, yeah, it's probably things like that. I mean, that girl seems tapped. Like, let it go. He probably like wasn't even thinking. Like when you're talking about a A-list celebrity that's beautiful, of course you're gonna be like, oh, the most beautiful woman. Like he probably wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. Like when I first read it, I agree with you. When I read it, I was like, that's a bit of an overreaction. Like,
Get over yourself.
get over it. But yeah, no, they are not speaking. David Beckham had a 50th birthday party, I think. I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago. They weren't there. They didn't go. They're definitely at odds. And apparently he's not making an appearance on the new documentary.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's too bad.
it is too bad. But
But I am interested to hear about the documentary. I feel like it's giving me like the Britney Spears documentary vibes.
yeah, no, totally. I mean, did you watch Beckham, their documentary that they did?
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. I didn't realize they were like such a big deal. I mean, now like thinking after I heard it and like thinking about it, I guess it makes sense, but we were kind of young, I think, when they got together. And I feel like
Yeah,
the documentary like really showed you how like they kind of just blew up when they started dating.
totally. And I think like the documentary that they did, I think probably why she's willing to do this one is because they were well received in that Beckham documentary. And there was that clip that was going viral of David calling her out for saying that her family was like a working class family, even though she was going to school in a Rolls Royce.
Mm.
So it showed their like banter and that she's actually pretty funny. So I'm sure that it'll be the same. It's a 3-part series, and the page 6 article about it says when you look back in hindsight at the media environment in the 90s, it was super hard. We've talked about that. Um,
Yeah.
so she talks a lot about like there was a huge scrutiny on her appearance, her weight, and the audience will have an understanding of what she went through. And then Victoria said that she even admitted that she cries in the footage. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what she talks about because it was so harsh back then. And you're
Yeah.
you're in a group of 5 girls, and she's supposed to kind of be like her label is Posh. I felt like was kind of like the sexy one,
Mm,
and she didn't really do a ton of the vocals. I don't know if she, so that was kind of
true.
her, like what she brought to the group a little bit was that
Yeah.
image.
I feel like everyone's favorite Spice Girls were Baby and Sporty.
Oh, and Ginger though.
Oh, and Ginger, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, great. When's that coming out? Does it say?
September.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be talking about it next month. Cool. And last and certainly not least, every Monday, we can't wait for this part. It's our summer I Turned Pretty recap. And we had a pretty great moment with Belly and Conrad. So, yeah, I was pretty happy
Yeah.
about that. What are your takeaways from the episode?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought the scene at the end, like when she was like cleaning up his cut or whatever, and they almost kissed, was way better than the peach scene.
Oh, good. I'm glad you thought that.
Yeah, I thought that was way better. Yeah, so I thought that was good. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Jeremiah was like being more of a bridezilla, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I will say, just to go back to that scene, did you not feel, I know I always compare Conrad to Jack Dawson, but did you not feel like in the part where he kind of like looks up at her and it's like it's a close in of his face, it was a very Jack Dawson drawing scene coded.
Oh my God, I have to watch it again. I mean, I now that you say that, I feel like I know exact. I mean, I know the exact part you're talking about in
Yes.
Titanic.
Yeah,
So it's just
I
a matter of
know.
watching The Summer I Turned Pretty again, but I can imagine it.
And then when the false god came up, which is a throwback to
Mm,
season one, they had a scene with false god and the
okay, I thought that. I thought that.
yes. They almost like kissed out on their little dock or whatever, and false god played.
Mm,
So they played that again. Yeah, there was a lot of tension, and I was glad that she was like, she realized it was like on her that time, Belly. It wasn't on Conrad, but also just like on the Conrad discussion, like the scene with him and Laurel when he
oh
goes and meets
yeah,
the mom,
yeah. And the diner.
so sweet.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I just like it's just so they're doing a really good job of like making it so evident that Conrad like he notices she's not eating, he makes her food. He notices that she's so sad because her mom's not around. He goes talks to her mom. He notices that she's overwhelmed with like the flowers. He goes to Michael's. Like he's just it's just so clear that he
Yeah,
actually takes care of her. And Jeremiah is just like a little baby back bitch who just can't like cares too much about the cake and now, like, he just wants to impress his dad so much that they're doing it at the club. This woman, Kaylee, is like catering it. Like, and then when they
oh yeah, and they
go,
found out that they cheated, right?
found out
Yeah.
that they cheated. Oh, and then when they go apartment hunting and Jeremiah has like no credit.
Oh yeah. And just like springs it on her in front of the like realtor or whatever. It's like,
Like,
dude, you're a
dude.
fucking idiot. You're too young to be leasing an apartment if you don't know not to do that.
I know. Like, I don't know. It's just another, ding on Team Jeremiah, even though I like Jeremiah, but this is just obviously like a disaster and he is way too young. The part when she's going to the club and she's talking to the planner and she's like, "Oh, can you serve lobster rolls? That's what we were going to serve." And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
girl's like, we can't really get a caterer this last minute and they don't serve sandwiches. It's just like, they're just so out of their league.
Like, and they started out, they were like going to elope,
I
and now they're
know.
like demanding lobster rolls.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I feel like this episode was kind of a turning point in that like it's clear to the viewers now that like Conrad is like the guy for her. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the audience now it's like they're trying to make it obvious that you want her with Conrad.
1000. And I think the part where she was at the bridal shower and she's arguing with Steven about like the origin story of them getting that dog, Rosie. And she was so
Yes.
convinced that it was Jeremiah. And then when she talks to Jeremiah and she realizes that she was wrong, it's like very symbolic of like she thought she knew what she was doing. And like, I think that was a moment for her where she's like, shoot, do I really know this guy the way that I think I know him? Or like, can I really trust my own judgment here? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
agreed. Turning point for sure.
Yeah. And the mom came back. I can't
Yeah.
remember what happened with that in the book. I thought maybe she went to the bridal shower in the book, but she still was like protesting the wedding. But it seemed like she was kind of like fine in the show.
Yeah, I think I think she realized like what Conrad said, like it's going to happen either way. So she can be there or not, but it's not going to like
Yeah.
stop it. So I think
Yeah.
that's kind of what I took from it. So yeah, we'll see on Wednesday this new, what's going to happen next. But I do think this was like a good turning point episode to your point. And per usual, I just have to say, my girl Taylor holding down the comedic timing of this whole series. She's
Yeah.
just so good. And I love the relationship between her and her mom. I love that they're showing her mom a lot this season because they're just like
Me too.
Yeah, very funny and also great friends. That was a very cute bridal shower.
Yeah, it was really cute. It's so frustrating though, the whole Steven storyline.
I
I hate
know.
that.
I know. You so clearly want them together, but I actually do kind of like the development with him and Denise, his coworker, about them going into like business together. I mean, to me, it's so obvious that like Taylor and Steven will end up together. Like
Yeah.
there's no way that doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah. That's when you got to give the viewer what they want. No more like
1000.
trying to be mysterious and like secretive.
Yeah.
Give us what
Nope.
we want.
Give us what we want. But it was weird that he was at the bridal shower.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. So, but yeah, another great episode. Staying here, staying stat for it. As always, hashtag Team Conrad.
Team Conrad, snitches.
Yeah, Brittany hates the hashtag.
Sorry, yeah, hashtags are for losers. Sorry.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks, as always, for snitching with us. We'll be back with a new episode on Wednesday.
And make sure to follow us, like us, comment, whatever on social media at snitchin.pod. Tell everyone you know about us. And I guess we'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. We are actually going to have Michelle on Wednesday. So I know
Yes.
we forgot to say that on Friday. I think we were a
Yes.
little overexcited about the Taylor talk,
Yes.
but we pushed Michelle's is going to be this Wednesday because we had to talk Taylor on Friday.
Yes. Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.